Ready?
Yeah. So we're in Parshas Masei, and for me, like when I say Parshas Masei, it's like the gate. You know, you got to say it because this is like the gate. To really understand the reality today, what's going on and everything. It's just all under the category of the parsha, and also the time is the 3 weeks, and that's like telling us, you know, the you know what is how we aim. It's not even about us. It's just that things just make sense when you know it's 3 weeks, because in the 3 weeks it's time to build Beis Hamikdash. So things are like things that you hear and things that you see. It will just help you. It's not like we're doing a favor to Hashem or something that we learn something in the Chumash, you know, for a few minutes. It's just that it's helping us to read and understand and interpret the reality, mamash, the reality around us, in a more accurate manner when we know that this is the parsha and this is the time. Otherwise, we just walk around clueless what's going on. Just don't know what's going on, mamash. It's
maybe better.
It's maybe better? No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
I think it's just, you know what? It's fun. If you look at it as fun, it's just fun to know what's going on. You know? It's just fun that you know what's going on.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Because it's not about us anyway. Hashem is doing what He's doing. It's bigger than us. It's not like we're trying to take control of what's happening. We can't take control. It's not about us. It's not about taking control. It's just above us completely. But it's fun to know what's going on. For a chosid of the Rebbe, that Baruch Hashem we're zoiche, you know, to be in touch with the Rebbe, you know, that so we have the ability to live with the time, to know what's going on, we're supposed to take it as fun, not as like taking control, not like I have to know everything that goes on, otherwise I'll go nuts. If that way, that's hard, that's very hard. But if a person says it's more fun to know what's going on, I think it's a better approach. No? Okay. So last week it was also already in the 3 weeks, and it was also meaning that 3 weeks for me equal time to build Beis Hamikdash. 3 weeks equal time to build Beis Hamikdash. This is the time to build Beis Hamikdash. So right away when someone hears to build Beis Hamikdash, so there are different things that people interpreting it that sound like building Beis Hamikdash. So some say, like, some understand what does it mean to build Beis Hamikdash. Go to Yerushalayim, kick all the Arabs out, take their buildings out, and just flatten the place and build Beis Hamikdash. It used to mean this way for me, but now it doesn't mean that for me. It doesn't mean why? Just not because I know it because of like spiritual reasons or anything. It's just that it's very simple. We'll go and we'll build Beis Hamikdash, and it's just gonna stay the same. It's not. We're not gonna feel any. Okay, we did it. Check. What's next? That's not how it's supposed to look like. And that's not why we build Beis Hamikdash. We actually know that in the first Mishkan, Am Yisrael built the Mishkan, and Hashem didn't dwell in the Mishkan. The Mishkan was built, and Hashem didn't come. What does that actually mean that Hashem come or didn't come? Hashem doesn't have a body. Leave it for now. But the point is, people said, you know, we build Beis Hamikdash, we build the Mishkan. So what? Like, it's like, so what? So it's not what it's all about. Huh?
You have to invite them.
Right. So building Beis Hamikdash is starting with the understanding of what is it that we want first. Usually when you build a building, so that in Israel, in the whole world, they have like, when they build a city, so they divide the places, like some school areas and public areas and apartments and buildings and just small houses. Every place or farms, every place is
A template.
right. So every place is for what it's good for. So it's not good if you build a house and you're not sure what you're building it for, because if you know what you're building it for, you know exactly what you need to do, what you want to do. And there's a difference between building a school or just building a little bathroom. You need to know what you're doing. So there's no point of building a house. There's no point of running to Yerushalayim and building this house there. That's not the point. So what is the point? When a person that learns Hasidus, that is in touch with the Rebbe, that knows that it's not so literal as it might look like, when a person hears building Beis HaMikdash, the first thing that he hears is, number one, is asking himself, wait, we already had Beis HaMikdash, so why those Beis HaMikdash was destroyed? Okay? Because of Bitul Torah and Sinat Chinam. This is a smart person, Chabad, supposed to ask himself, okay, so why? So that the class that we had, the previous class, we spoke about it, about Sinat Chinam, and it, you know what, and it makes sense, and we connected it. Sinat Chinam is when people just don't like each other for no reason. And then we explained, now, first of all, what is the purpose of a big building? When you have a big building, a public building, what is the purpose of it? To use it, why? Because usually you have a group of people that loves each other company. And they complete that field with a building. Usually you have JCC, okay? I don't know. Like you have a community center, Jewish community, because it's a Jewish community center. And the building is just a shell. It's just the end. It's because people want to, okay, if you have a pool, you build a pool. So because people like to swim and they like to do, it's not, so build a pool in your house. Okay? So it's an idea that is manifested through a group of people. So that's how you build a public building, basically. It's for a few people that thinks the same, that feel the same, so they build a building together for that particular purpose. So how much more so Beit HaMikdash? Beis HaMikdash is really, it's not like a building that's what do you need Beis HaMikdash? What do you need it for? You have your own home, you have your sleep, what do you need Beis HaMikdash? We have to realize that Beis HaMikdash is not just a building. It's ridiculous to think that Beis HaMikdash is, when we're gonna have what we supposed to have, meaning the connection of Am Yisrael around the Torah, then to actually build the building is going to be a piece of cake. That's not the problem. When Am Yisrael is going, B'ezrat Hashem is going to be united, and not only united, but not just united, but united around the Torah, then to build Beis HaMikdash is a piece of cake. So that means what? It means it's like they built the Empire State Building in 11 months, they say. Because it wasn't like, why? Because once there was the unity of all of those people that thought, or whatever, the gathering of investors and whatever it is, so they had the building done. The point was that we gathering on something, and so that's what it really means to build Beis HaMikdash. Means to fix Sinat Chinam. But also Sinat Chinam, to hatred to each other, it's not like just hatred to each other. It's loving each other companies, like that's the better way to put it. But what is the reason for Sinat Chinam? The Sinat Chinam, the hatred, was the reason why the second temple destroyed. But why the first temple destroyed? Which is the foundation for the destruction of the second temple, because of Bitul Torah. What does it mean, Bitul Torah? It means Torah, in one word, is the will of Hashem. Because what does it mean Torah? Torah, it means that I'm busy, I'm occupied. What is it that Hashem wants? Not what I want, but what Hashem wants. If I'm busy, when I'm busy all the time with what, instead of thinking of being occupied, what I want, and then right away, if I want that, so he wants that, and he wants that, so that creates separation. So then, when a person is busy with what Hashem wants, so then it's contagious, and everybody starts to think, oh, you know what? what is it that Hashem, what is the purpose of creation? What is the purpose of what is it that Hashem wants? And then come together and build something together and build something that is communal, really, because we all think together of what Hashem wants. When we think about what Hashem wants, it connects people, because Hashem, it's something that is the most, is the common denominator between all of us. There's nothing more connecting than Hashem. You can take something that can connect a group of people, but Hashem is something that connects all of us, because Hashem, of course, brought us all here, and Hashem is the one that everything comes from. So Hashem is the one that connects everything. So when we think about Hashem, it connects everything. It creates unity again, and that's why the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed, because the Beis Hamikdash is a manifestation of a house for Hashem, meaning a house for those that wants to serve Hashem, that cares about what the Creator of the world wants. So our building is just a manifestation of this. It's just a building. The question is, what stands behind this building? If the people, build it, what are they interested about? So that was last class. To be occupied with Hashem, what Hashem wants all the time instead of what I want and so on. That was last class. So that was one important issue on our way to build Beis Hamikdash. To simply always work within ourselves to what is it that Hashem wants? What is it that Hashem wants? Okay, I want that, and he wants that, and she wants that. But what is it that Hashem wants? And in every situation, to look at the reality from a divine point of view, meaning to look for the divine point of view. If you look for the divine point of view, Hashem will grant you with that, with the divine point of view. It's not like part of the 13 principles of faith in the Jewish tradition is that that we must believe, that we're supposed to believe, that if a person wants to know what Hashem wants, Hashem will tell him. Hashem tells him. No, meaning that we must believe that Hashem prophesies, Hashem gives the knowledge, His knowledge to the prophets and so on. Whatever, Hashem will find His way. That's not our problem. It's not our problem. Okay, that's not our issue. But one of the, I'm translating, I'm making it modern, it says that Hashem prophesies the people, and Hashem also, there's another principle that we must believe that the Torah is from heaven. So what I'm trying, to say it in our language today is basically saying, I believe that if I'm occupied myself with trying to know what Hashem wants, I want to know what Hashem wants, Hashem will find a way to tell me. I must believe that Hashem is telling me because I want to. And all of those that say, oh, I can't know really, it's because they don't want to know. They don't want to know. I don't want to know what Hashem wants. Don't know, so I'm not going to tell you. Don't worry. I'm not going to bother you with something you don't want. But this time we're going to talk about another brick, another important foundation to build Beis Hamikdash. Is basically there is a question there's a question that comes from the heart. Really, it doesn't come from the brain. It comes from the heart. It goes through the brain as well, but it's really a question from the heart, and that is Beis Hamikdash. It's something that we already had. We had it twice. Before that, we already had the Mishkan, different variations of the Mishkan. What really happened? It's true that people had Sinat Chinam, and it's true it's because of Torah, Bitul Torah, but it's something deeper. And what it is, I can say it in a very simple way. Maybe it can sound even bad. It's like, it's boring. What? It's like,
What?
it's like, that's what happened. That's what happened. People had Beis Hamikdash. It stood there for 410 years. The first one, the second one for 420. People are like, they didn't appreciate it anymore. It's like, okay, they took it as granted. Well, so what? And then they started to to spoil their ways. You know, they went in the wrong ways, and then the prophets came. And you're gonna lose Beis Hamikdash. Who cares? They didn't care enough. They didn't care enough. You know, you see, all of the prophets, they tell them, and they knew that they are true prophets. It's not like they didn't know, but it didn't touch them anymore. They're looking for new stuff. You know, we want something new.
More action.
We want action, right? We want more action. Like, what is it? Like, okay, so you're gonna have this Hamikdash, and even today, people are thinking, okay, so Geula is gonna come, you're gonna have this Hamikdash, Tchias HaMeisim, so it's gonna be very excited, but
They're
You
my
know?
Pokemon.
10 years, 20 years,
Go.
okay, come on, you know? People are, you know, sometimes you can ask people, a lot of people, you know, you ask them, you give them blessing, eternal life. Oh man, you know, did you ever think about it? You're gonna live forever. That's it. Nowhere to go. You just live forever. Sometimes people are like, you know what? 80 years, 90 years, 100 years. Okay, I'm ready to go. You know. If people are really thinking it through, this is a real issue. People, even if something is perfect, is the best that it could ever be. But what happens a second later? Becomes older. Becomes old. Okay? And we have on the other hand, that's the reality. That's nature. That's nature. That's how things work. I'm not judging them. I'm just explaining. I'm just bringing that to the light. And then Hashem, on the other hand, Hashem, the Torah, is telling us, is commanding us, we must keep the mitzvot and learn the Torah as something that is absolutely new. Right? The Torah, mamash, like, we must learn the Torah as it's something that you just today, right now, receive. It's supposed not even like new, but it's supposed to be new completely. Now, ideally, if that would work, if that would be true, so then Beis Hamikdash would be forever. Because if we felt about Beis Hamikdash the same excitement as the Jewish people felt in the 8th day of the Mishkan, as we read in Parshas Shmini, you know, like as we read in the Torah, the excitement that Hashem for the first time comes to dwell in the Jewish people, and also in Matan Torah, the first time that they've seen Hashem, you know. Also it says about Torah that we're supposed to learn Torah like we just now receiving it from Mount Sinai, from Mount Sinai, that we're so afraid and we're so excited and anxious to, I don't know, to get the Torah, to receive the Torah. So again, I wish we would be that way, right? If we would be that way, there is no question that Beis Hamikdash would be forever. No question, the Beis Hamikdash. So that's why it's much more important to solve that problem. That's what it means to build Beis Hamikdash. Because if it's just going and build Beis Hamikdash, we already know that sooner or later it's going to be destroyed. If we're going to go and build Beis Hamikdash without fixing that problem that we just mentioned, sooner or later, we already have an experience with it. We already know. Okay? There's no point to go back to the same mistakes, right? That is really what we need, that one of the things that we need to fix in order to build Beis Hamikdash. Why is it that we don't appreciate those good things that we have in the second time the same way that we appreciate it in the first time? Right? What is it that makes things to be old? That makes something new to become old? That's the question. Now, of course, it's not my thing. It's a mimer of the Rebbe, and there's a lot of information about it. I don't know. I hopefully with Hashem's help today we will be able to answer the question. but it's really something that it says in the books, Likutei Torah, Ma'amarim of the Rebbe. It's all It's all there. So the answers are there. Answer exists. So the truth is, this problem is actually much deeper than the problem of Sinat Chinam. Because if we know to appreciate those things, or people will appreciate them forever, and the same excitement, really, only if we feel about them that they're really new. So then, we learn to appreciate ourselves, each other, Beis Hamikdash, or everything that Hashem wants and gives us. The mitzvot, if you know to appreciate the mitzvot of Hashem. Every mitzvah of Hashem, that sometimes we do the same mitzvah over and over again. I mean, it's the same mitzvot. After all, it's the same mitzvot. And it's like, okay, it was nice today, but it's a Baal Tshuva, for example. So he doesn't know, he never grew up like that. But first, wow, he understands something in Torah. It's gewaldig, right? It's like, it's amazing. And then when he does the mitzvah for the first time, it's like, wow, he's really excited. It's really new to him, and that's true. But how do you continue with that? And also, how do you transfer it to your kids? Like, for the kids, it's like a burden already. Like, I know everything. I know Torah mitzvahs. I know this religion. I know. No, just leave me alone now. I got the point. Just they know already. 5 years old, 10 years old, they already know everything. Just leave them alone. They know. Yeah, I know already. I know. How do you? It's not even to preserve the excitement. Because it's not about. You can't preserve excitement. It's not like that. It's not like something you buy in the store, like and then you eat a pill every day. It's not like that. Those people that think it's like that are sick in the first place. Like I'm saying, drugs. Not taking drugs and thinking like that will keep me interested in life. Like every day they boost themselves with excitement because they take drugs or pills or whatever. Some people are going that direction. I'm just saying. They look for excitement in life from getting high, right? So, but of course, it's not the way to go. It's really make them less and less excited and less alive and less everything. They kill themselves. So, the answer is, in short, and then we'll walk to elaborate as much as we can, and we'll give examples and analogies, and we'll see, and you'll help me also to make it alive. But the answer is because we, in the first place, we look at things as natural. We look at things as natural instead, and the way it's supposed to be is that we're supposed to look at everything as absolutely not the same at all. Okay? That's the answer in short. I mean, I'm saying it's in short because if I'll stay with that, most people will say, I don't see your answer. It's like you just repeated something, like you repeated the question in a tone of an answer. It sounds like, but that's the answer. The answer is that it's a good answer because the answer is that we have the key. We can do the same thing with an approach, not an approach, it's like to realize that it's absolutely not the same, it's absolutely new, where someone else might say, I don't see your point, it's exactly the same. So you can have two people. One says it's exactly the same, and another says it's totally new. Of course, it's not good to make a comparison between two people to say this says this, because ultimately we're supposed to, all of us, when we're supposed, it's contagious. Excitement is supposed to be contagious, and all of Israel and the whole world to come to build Beis Hamikdash with such an excitement that only grow from day to day and forever and ever and ever. That's the right way, and that's the way it's going to be, because otherwise it's not going to last. And we know that the Beis Hamikdash is going to last forever. Okay, and we know that we're gonna live in eternal life, and not only our bodies are gonna live eternal life, but we're gonna be excited every day more than yesterday, and we're gonna live really forever. We're gonna be alive forever, not like more and more and more. So that's the way it's going to be. So that's it's going to happen. It's happening. And all of us are gonna feel like that, and it's only going to grow. So that's where we're going. That's the direction. That's where we're going. We just need to understand. We need to have fun throughout the process because it's happening. So the Rebbe explains, I'm going to use, when the Rebbe is using a platform to explain that. Analogies from the Torah, examples from Torah, and also psukim, verses from the Torah. So there is a pasuk in the Megillat Eicha. Eicha is the scroll that we read on the book that we read on Tisha B'Av, and it says there, Zechor Hashem me haya lanu, which literally means, what it means, the simple pshat is, remember Hashem, what happened to us. What had happened to us. But, so that's the pshat. Remember Hashem, what happened to us. Zechor Hashem, Zechor Yud Kei Vav Kei, what happened to us. Me haya lanu. But then there are few explanations of that pasuk, secrets. The me haya lanu in Hebrew, so ma is 45, and it stands for the name of Havaya, Yud Kei Vav Kei, with the milui, with the, like if you write Yud Vav Daled, it's 20, and then you add Hey Aleph, it's called milui Alefin. Anyway, you come to a certain calculation where it's 45. 45 is Begimatria Adam, is Begimatria Geula, and the meaning of Ma, meaning of 45, the meaning of Ma, this word in Hasidus and Kabbalah, in the Torah, Ma is Bitul, is nullification to Hashem. It says in the Gemara, and Hasidus explains that Eizu Shoteh, who is a person that is full, who is a fool, Mi sheme'abed ma shenutnim lo, the one that is losing what is received, what is given, is gifts that Hashem gave him, or someone is giving him. And Hasidus touches it like this. Hasidus explains that he's losing the ma that he's given. He's losing his menschlichkeit, he's losing his bitul, he's losing his recognition of Hashem, he's losing that, because that's the most important thing, and that's what we're talking about. But it's not only that we're just losing it, it's where is it going? Where to look for it? Where did we lose it? So me haya lanu. Me, the word ma, haya, turned into lanu. What is lanu? Me became lanu. What is lanu? Lanu is Begimatria, is the same numbers as 86, which is the name of Elohim.
What, Lanu?
Lanu. Lanu literally means to us. Lanu it means to us. But it's also, but if you, the numbers, Lanu is 86, Lamed is 30, Nun is 50, 80, and then Vav is 6, 86. So it's the name of Elohim. So basically the name of Havaya became the name of Elohim. And that's what happened to us. Me haya lanu. What happened to us? What happened to us? Like, what happened to me? What happened? What did I lose? What did I do wrong? What you do wrong, what you did wrong is what we do wrong, what we did wrong, which happened, which caused for us to lose something that we had, that we don't even know what. What is mine? Ma. What? What did we lose? We lose the what. That's what we lost. We lost, because ma, it means what. What, it means essence. Ma ze mahut. We lost something, we lost the what. We had many classes, I think a lot of classes about talking about the word ma, and how it's the essence of things. Like we spoke about, like instead of asking, how, ask what. Like instead of, why did Hashem does this to me? Ask what is it that Hashem wants from me? That's what you need to ask. Not like why he wants it from me, but why, what is it that he wants from me? Or not even how to do it. Just what is it? What is it? Always to be occupied with what Hashem gives you. And that is really what we here for. That's the essence of man, of Adam. Adam, it means to. And by the way, 45 is oh, מה זה, מפסיק לטריין. לא, אני אומר, אפשר לחבר עם זה. דברים תביא, מעריך. תודה. By the way, also Ma, we said it's a certain variation of the name of Havaya, Yud Kei Vav Kei. But in what way? Yud Kei Vav Kei is 26. The numbers of Yud Kei Vav is 26. And between 26 and 45, it's 19. So 19 is numbers of Chava.
What?
Chava.
Eve.
Yeah, Eve,
Oh.
Chava. So that's like the Chava that is in Adam, because Adam is 45. And within 45, there is the 26, and there is the 19. And the 19 are hidden in the 26. But when you unfold it, when you open the folders up, so it's like from the 26 comes the 19, because that's how it is. It's Milui. It's called Milui. Because you can write Yud Kei Vav Kei like Yud He Kei Vav. Or you write Yud Kei Vav Kei when you say Yud. So you can, what is a Yud? Yud is like a little dot. But here what you're saying, Yud is Yud Vav Dalet. So that's like the hidden, like Vav Dalet is hidden in the Yud. So that's like the Chava. If you take only the Vav Dalet and only the Aleph from the Hey Aleph, and so it's going to be 19.
Interesting.
Okay.
1 and 9 is 10.
Huh?
19, 1 and 9 is 10.
Right. You can continue with that. I'll start, Anyway, so wait a second. Let me try to put it on a website or something.
Yeah, it doesn't download.
Ah.
Shireen does not download.
I can show you how to do it with that acting class.
מה הבעיה?
You got to?
מצוין. מצוין.
It always says it doesn't download.
Video or audio?
No, his classes.
Audio, we're talking about
The
audio.
audio.
No, there is a way.
Afterwards.
Maybe it's file thing, right? Type of file. Okay. So somewhere along the line, we lost something. Okay, we lost the 45. The number 45 is basically it's standing for many things, like we explained. But that's where the Geula, that's where that's where it's hidden. That's the answer. We lost the name of Havaya. Where we lost it? We lost it in the name of Elohim. We lost the name of Havaya in the name of Elohim. Or we lost Adam and Eve in nature. What did I just say? Maybe we'll try to make it like simple. It's like, maybe we should say, it's like a person initiates something and then he gets lost in it. It's like he makes something, he like, I want to do something, and then a few minutes later, why am I here? Like, I don't want to be here, but I have to do it. What do you mean you have to do it? What do you mean you have to do it? And it has to do also with forgetting. We just forget. We forget the source. We are into something that it's coming from us, and we are stuck there. We forget.
Claim it.
It's like you invite your kids to your home because you didn't come for so long, and you tell them, and you see an opportunity, and you jump on them, come visit me, please. Then when they come, it's like, why am I doing this to me? What they are doing here? You're just yelling all the time. And you can't get them out because it's your kids. You can't get them out. You can't kick them out. You know? Things like that. You commit yourself to do a cake, and in the middle of it, it's like, 2 hours to go, I can't take it. I don't know, things like that. We took upon ourselves this whole operation of Golus, you know. Every soul decided that she's going to come to this world, to these parents, and will do this job. It's all from us, but it's just we forget. And that's the beginning of the pasuk. The beginning of the pasuk is Zechor Hashem me haya lanu. Zechor, it means to remember. Remember what? Remember Avaya. What does it mean, Avaya, literally? What is it the Avaya, the word Avaya means? What does it mean? Avaya literally means to make to be. Yud Kevavke, it means to make to be. That's what it means. Not only to make to be, but like, that's what it means, to make to be, but if we'll be more accurate, there are two types of making something to be. There is yesh me'ayin and yesh miyesh. There is something from nothing, from absolutely nothing, and something from something. Something from something is when you take wood and you make a table out of it. You took something and you formed it something else. Formed it into something else. That's yesh miyesh. It's yetzira. It's called yetzira, forming. Just give it a form. But Yud Kevavke is not like that. Yud Kevavke is to make something to be from nothing. To make it from absolutely nothing. Meaning that before it, there was nothing, and the only reason why it's here, because you make it, as we speak. It's like, there's no other source but that. There's no other source, like it can't be. Without that, there's nothing. Without that source, it's nothing. So that we can basically, to make it organized, we can make there are 3 levels. There are things that they are. It's here. Like there's a table over here. I didn't do this table. If I want to go to that wall, I need to go around. So why are you going to tell me, I put the table over here? I didn't put the table over here. It was here before I came. So I feel about it like I'm stuck. I'm stuck in a world that I didn't create. If I would to create this world, it'd be different. Maybe I wouldn't even create this world. Yeah. So that's one approach. That's the lowest level. That's the level of forgetting. That's the level where we totally in a state of forgetting how, what is it doing here? I don't want it here. Like, we're totally in a place of forgetfulness, of darkness, in a disconnected place. Like, what is it doing here? I don't want it here. Like, I don't even think you're trying to tell me that I put it here. I don't think so. It's a lie. It's like we are totally disconnected from the reality. Because our soul is covered. It's covered. It's not revealed. We don't see the source, the root for the reality. We don't realize that every piece of it is coming from, I'm saying Avaya, first I said Avaya, and then I say the soul. Because this is, the Rebbe combines between 2 explanations, the Arizal and Baal Shem Tov. The Baal Shem Tov says, what is Avaya? The soul is Avaya. The soul, our soul, comes from the name of Avaya. So our soul is also Avaya. Not also. It's one. Our soul comes from the name of Avaya. So we forget. Our soul is not revealed. When it's not revealed, that's how we feel about everything. We feel like totally disconnected, totally stuck. We feel in a reality that is not our own. So that's the lowest level. That's like this, the lowest level. That's like nature. Nature, what it means that Hateva, nature, is also B'gimatria Elokim, right? 86. And one of the meanings of the word nature, Teva in Hebrew, it means that it's like drowned. It means that it's covered. It's covered in water. So it's covered in, the truth is covered. The soul is covered. That's the idea of forgetting. We forgot. we forgot, because the truth is, and sometimes we know the truth, sometimes we see the truth, sometimes we live in a much better place, and we see how powerful we really are, and how we can move this table right there. And it's not hard, and it's might. Sometimes we have the power to move the table out there, and it's really not hard for us. It's really nothing for us. Sometimes it's impossible for us. But so we know that it exists. Sometimes we forget it even exists. We forget that this table doesn't have a real second opinion of our own. It's like of its own. It's not like. But sometimes we feel that. Sometimes people get hit from the table and they cost the table, right? Sometimes we are so low, we forget. Sometimes our souls are so covered. So that's like the level of nature that we're losing our soul, we're losing our vaya in Elohim. We're losing the source in the nature. And then there is a higher level where we know that we have the power to change reality, but it's not like we know that we make the reality. We can change the reality, but it's not us that makes the reality. Nothing to do with us. We can do things in the reality, but so that's better. But it's not the truth. It's not the ultimate truth. The ultimate truth, emet havai le'olam, okay? That's a pasuk. The ultimate truth is that the reality is made to be. And it has to do with something that we do. It has to do with the changing the creation of the reality has to do with our mitzvahs, basically. With something that we can do or not do. And that's basically the truth. That our mitzvot is where the reality becomes to be. And how do you feel now about doing the same mitzvah? The truth is that the reality is dependent and created, not only dependent, like the reality is created from our mitzvot. The whole Seder Ishtalshelus, as we say in Hasidus and Kabbalah, or the whole reality has no other source than our own mitzvot.
So we basically create reality?
Yes, we're using our mitzvahs completely. There is no other source for reality. There is no other source for the reality other than our mitzvot. There is no other source of the reality other than our mitzvot. But I must tell you that even that is not the highest level. Because it feels very heavy to feel this way in a way. It's better. Like you feel about the mitzvot, it's much more than you would have. But it's still heavy. And we're not supposed to feel about that way about the mitzvot, like the whole world is dependent on my own thing, on me. It's very hard. And soon I want to put it also in a certain form that will help us to remember it. It's actually much deeper than that. Like we said earlier, who said even that I want to create a world? And the truth is, the ultimate level, which is the level of the Torah, okay, we spoke about it, is when the person doesn't even see reality. He doesn't see a reality and then he reacting to that reality. That's hard. It's like if you tell me today that because I'm doing this and this mitzvah every day, that's why this, let's say, thing is still exists. Because I do this and that. That sounds very...
egotistical.
No. Wait. No. Listen. It doesn't matter right now if it's true or not. Let's say... No, I'm not saying that's true. It doesn't matter. I mean, no one is asking you, basically. No one is asking you. You are told that the truth is that the world is because coming out of your mitzvah. They're like, okay, that's the truth. But wait. So it's not about your ego or not. It's like people say that that those that says that Jews are different than Goyim are racist. You're not racist. Hashem chose us And that's it, whether we like it or not. We're just letting everybody know, or getting in touch with the program, getting in line with the program, with the truth. That's the truth. That's the truth. It's not it's not egoistic. It's the truth. But wait a second. Let's put that aside for now. I'm not checking the truth of it right now. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I feel this way, so then I'm who do you think you are, right? But I'm not. So again, it's from Hashem. That's number one. But let's put it aside for now. I'm talking about how pressure can that put on a person. That's what I'm talking about. Like if you tell me that because I put tefillin every day, this and this and this and that happens like that, and something that I'm used to it, like I can't think of the world of myself without it, and you telling me that if I'm going to stop with tefillin, sooner or later that will disappear from the view. For me, it sounds very how do you call it? Like it's pressure. It's pressure.
Mm-hmm.
It's putting a lot of pressure on me.
Yeah.
Right? It's putting a lot of pressure.
Responsibility. Yeah.
It's a lot of responsibility.
That's a big
It
burden.
makes a lot of room for there to be a tahara around it also. Like the
Right.
minute you know how much hashpa'ah your actions are having, then
Right.
you can,
Exactly.
there's a lot more room.
Exactly. And that's part of the problem. Why
That's
people?
a heavy scene.
It's a heavy thing. That it's a heavy place to be, and a lot of people are saying, you know what? I would, I think that mitzvahs are nice and good, but when the pressure is added to it, I can't take the pressure. Sorry, it's too much for me. So we're taking care of that now.
Ah, okay.
So,
Good. That's only.
so the ultimate. So the answer is this: the ultimate is the problem is because we open our eyes and we see a certain reality, and we get attached to that reality, and then it becomes like a circle that we can't let go of that reality. Once you know that reality, at first, you know what happens. At first, because this is how the world was created. At first, a baby is born. He's not obligated with doing mitzvot. Not obligated. So if he's not obligated, how is it that the world exists? You're saying that the whole world exists because of your mitzvot. Like my world, the world that I know, including you people, okay? Forget the egotistic for inside. It's something to take care of. I'm not saying it's not. But the world I live in, and the world I know, exists because of my mitzvot. Including Japan and China, which I never been there before. But I must know the whole world stands on my mitzvot. So if that's the case, so how come a baby lives for 13 years or 12 years and the world is still on? So the way Hashem does it to us is very interesting. First, He gives us to us for free.
Lost leader.
Then we get used to it, and we can't think of the world without. Like we can't think of the world without this and this and that. Like that's the world. What do you mean? We're getting attached to the reality, and then Hashem tells us, "Bye bye. Now it's you. If you want those things to stay, you need to do the mitzvot because now only your mitzvot will sustain the world." That's basically what Hashem is telling us in Bar Mitzvah, Bat Mitzvah. Okay, so that's a lot of pressure, right? But that's not good. That's not the way. We're supposed to keep the mitzvot from a different place. We're supposed to not being attached. We're supposed to not being attached to reality. Like that. We're supposed to realize that we creating a reality all the time. And if we do things different, the world will change. And that's okay. Deeper than that, I don't even care because it's not about the world. It's about me keeping mitzvahs. Not keeping, it's about me, it's about creating. It's not about what is being created. Okay? That's the problem. The problem is that we're getting attached to the creation. we emphasize nature, we emphasize the name of Elohim, we identify with the reality as it is, but that's already old. That's something we created yesterday. Who cares? As far as we care, the whole world can disappear, and tomorrow we'll see a new world. Let go. Let go. You don't keep mitzvot just to maintain the world as it is. You keep mitzvot, and as you keep mitzvot, you're creating new reality. And even that is not pressing you in any way, because you are the creator. Like, it's by the way. It's like, whatever happens, happens. The emphasis is not on the name of Elohim, what becomes to be. The emphasis is on the one that does it. Yud Ke Vav Ke is the one that makes to be. Yesh Me'ayin. There is nothing. We're supposed to feel that there is nothing, and now we make something. Not like there is something and we keep the mitzvot in order to sustain it or in order to even change it to another thing. No. There is nothing. So there's no pressure. There's no pressure. There's nothing. And everything you do makes something. And that's exciting. And that's beautiful. It's exciting.
Can you relate it to a potato kugel?
Yes. Every potato kugel that you make is different completely.
100%.
Oh yeah.
No, I meant
No, it is.
it's different in a good way, of course. But we're supposed to accept it. We're supposed to realize that. We think like, I came to this class now from a class in Machon Alta. And I only had 2 minutes to go here, to walk here. And when I went to Machon Alta, I gave them a certain class. And then I thought to myself, and now, the class that I want to give here, I had what I wanted, right? But since it's only 2 minutes after I left there, you can't sit for an hour and really give yourself and talk about something that you care about and not forget it in a second, right? And you come to a new class and you give something that's totally something else. It's like sound crazy, right? So I was when I left there, I was attached to what I said there. So I thought to myself, so I'll just say what I said there. And then I said to myself, Asi, you know yourself. It's impossible. Every time I tried to say the same thing, it came out totally different. To such an extent that it was not what I meant to say. So I said, you better do yourself a favor and don't try to imitate what you just said, because you're just gonna feel a failure. You will hurt yourself. Just stop doing it. And then I realized that I thought those thoughts בהשגחה פרטית. Because I realized that that's the point of the whole class I'm going to bring today. I'm going to give today. That's what I really meant. That's really the point of that mimer that I learned. The point is that maybe 2 minutes ago you did something that externally seems like the same thing. Like this is a class, this is a class. You sit in that place of the teacher and you give over something. Just copy paste. That's it. That's it. But that's boring. But even more than that, it's put pressure on you because you need to imitate something you already done, and you need to be like the same, right? But it's not. But the point is, it's not even true. It's just not true, because there's no such thing that you maintain and you sustain a certain reality that you have in your mind. That's old. We create. Everything is absolutely new. It's never the same, even though it might look the same, but it's never the same, really. Okay? And that's how a person goes from strength to strength every day, and never think that things are boring or things are built up and now he needs to maintain so much and sustain so much, so it becomes a lot of pressure. Everything is absolutely new. You read Shema every day, and it says in the Shulchan Aruch that we must say Shema. The Halacha says that we must Shema as it's absolutely new, not as if, but It's new. How do you say Shema in a way that it's absolutely new? Because every time we say Shema, it's absolutely new. We create. It had never been. We right now, it says in Allah that right now you just got a letter from Hashem, from the creator of the world. New. You meet Hashem right now, Matan Torah right now. When you read Shema, it's considered as Matan Torah. Right now, it's absolutely new. And whoever is going to try to say Shema the same way that he did yesterday, I promise him that he will feel a failure. He will feel bored. He will feel pressure. It will never be the same. And that's something we do to ourselves. We make ourselves shorter, smaller than we really are. We're none less than creators. We are nothing less than a creator. Never. We can never be less than that. But we forget that. We fall under something we did yesterday, and we think that that's who we are today. We define ourselves, and that's what it means that things becomes old and boring and a lot of pressure. We must let go all the time because we are creators. We must do from nothing. Now, doing from nothing, I want to present another problem that might fall into it over here. What do you mean? Out of nothing? It's hard. Like, it's much easier to build something, to put it on autopilot, and to get the money through the internet. You see that money is growing. What do you mean? Like, every day you reinvent the wheel. It's hard. I don't want that. It sounds very hard. Creating is the most enjoyable thing that could ever be. Really. And if someone doesn't feel this way, it's because he's not really creating, or something is wrong with that. Something is wrong, because that creating is really it's a rule. It's a rule. If someone doesn't feel this way, it's because he's still stuck. Still stuck. Let me explain. If a person feels that he has to do again even the process of creation, so he has to copy paste the meaning of the word creation, that itself will put him into pressure. Creation is invention. It's easy. One of the things about the name of Havaya, one of the rules, is that it's easy. It's something you can do. Not only it's something you can do, but it's something that comes out of you. It's like whatever you do, you create. Whatever you do, you create. It's okay, and that's one of the things that I'll put in the same sentence, the same group of words. We spoke about forgetfulness, darkness, or pressure. All of those words that a lot of times people only see the bad in those words, right? And the opposite of that is remembering, is light, and all of these things. So there's another word, and that's difficulty. Difficult, it's difficult. It's difficult. Why things are so difficult? The word difficult has to do with not with creating. Creating is not difficult. Creating is not difficult. Okay? It's like if you try to open the door and it just doesn't get open, maybe it's not the door. Just maybe.
Maybe it's a wall.
Right. If you create and it feels hard for you, if it feels hard for you to do what you do, whatever it is that you do, it means that you lost the name of Havaya in the name of Elohim. That's what it means, Kabbalistically. It means that you forgot, or you're forgetting And therefore you need to remember. That's it. Just need to remind yourself. What do you need to remind yourself? Zechor Havaye Me Hayalan. Remember that soul that you have, that spirit that is always creating. That is creating. That you're creating. It's never the same. You never do the same thing. It's never the same. It's never the same. It's never the same. Remember that. You're creating. You're creating. You're creating. Remind yourself that you're creating. Remind yourself that yes, there is nature, but there is also, like, there are things that are already here, but you creating something. Oh, close your eyes, create. Okay? Don't, like, as we look around us and we say, there's nothing to create, it's all here already, or we feel that we need to imitate or something that is already here, we lose the excitement, we lose the life, we lose the name of Havaya, we lose Adam and Chava, we lose our true selves, we lose our neshama, lose it. It's all the same. I know it already. Okay? It's all the same.
Sometimes when you're in the process of creating, you definitely don't feel like you're the one who's creating. It almost feels like you're not the one who's creating.
Good
like
point.
happening by
Good
itself.
point. Right, right. And that's how it feels like, really. That's how it feels like when you create. Because that's how you forget yourself in the process, but in a good way. That's the fix. That's the in a good way. And that's what it means essentially, really, that only from the name of Elohim is that a person feels himself. From the place of the neshama, from the place of Havaya, a person doesn't feel himself at all. And when a person doesn't feel himself, then it really creates.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The thing is, that's what it means, iskafia or isapcha, to put yourself on the side. It's not you, it's Hashem. What does it mean it's not you, it's Hashem? That's what it means that the neshama is revealed. The neshama is revealed, it means that you feel that it's not about you and it's not you, it's Hashem. Hashem is doing everything. That's what it means to create. That's what it means that Hashem comes through you, because that's the ultimate thing. The ultimate thing is that Hashem comes through us. The name of Havaya is doing his thing through us, and we don't feel ourselves. It's meaning we don't feel ourselves as who does it, because but we feel ourselves as a channel for our neshama, which is part of Hashem, and our neshama is part of Hashem, or ultimately Hashem is doing it. And that's connected also to the last class, because instead of thinking, for example, what am I doing here? It's not about you. It's not about you. Okay? And it's not depressing that it's not about you.
It's freeing.
It's
exactly.
freeing. It's freeing, and we must be stubborn about it. Like, if you have like a connotation that like, if for you, if I say it's not about you and you feel like it's depressing, so you should know that the problem is yours. It's not like, because we need to take responsibility on the way that we understand things. If we understand things in the wrong way, it's our problem. So we need to be stubborn. We need to be like, okay, I understood it wrong, I'm sure. It's not really like that. I must understand it in the positive way, because it couldn't be that it's just negative as it sounds. We must see how, okay, so again, it's freeing. So, and once it's freeing, then a person is doing what he's supposed to do where he's at. If I am who I am, and I don't know what I'm doing here, free yourself. It's not about you. And then you'll know exactly what you need to do, because you're not so anxious anymore. You're just accepting that you're exactly where you need to be, because you're exactly where Hashem puts you. And then you become a creator again, because you got yourself in touch. You remember. that you manifesting Hashem in the reality, in the name of Elohim. Like the name of Elohim is really the name of Elohim manifests the name of Havaya. The name of Elohim is not something that's supposed to take over, that you're supposed to feel like, oh, that's what, it's getting me feel stuck. The reality should not limit our freedom. What is should not limit our freedom to create. Should not limit our freedom. It doesn't limit us at all. And that's the ultimate. There is no pressure because there is nothing that you need to imitate. There is nothing that you need to sustain. There is nothing. What is this? These are your tools to apply what you create. You'll use the world to create. The world is even less than a Play-Doh. Mamish. That's the truth about the world. The reality doesn't limit you. The reality is your tools. The reality is your tools. Okay? People that we meet. Things that we have or we don't have. These are tools to create. People love to help. People love to connect. People love it. It's not a war over here. We love to help each other. It's not even each other. It's like, essentially when we come from the soul and we don't feel ourselves all the time and we are free, then we connect in such a way that we don't even feel that we're talking about separate identities and stuff like that. And people love it. People love to feel this way, but somehow it's getting lost. And then people are like fighting and you don't know what happened. Again, me haya lanu. What happened to us? Like, Zechor Havaya. Remember that you are Havaya, remember that it's Hashem, then you'll know. Now, there is another example from the Torah, and then I have to go, but okay, leave it this way.
No.
No, it's 1:30. Okay, yeah, 1:32.
Next week.